Have another beer, buddy.
Chatty chat, chat, chat. I think that they probably said that being shorter is advantageous.
Well, they need to teach me then. There you go. So we had to poke a little fun at him. Call you Ginger Swag.
Yeah. If you weren't bowlers, what would you have liked to have done instead? Anything else. Literally anything else.
That's a great answer.
The horse is so dead that it's on some kid's school project on a landfill already.
And there you have
that one before.
No. We'll talk about that one.
Terrible idea.
What's up?
Yeet.
What is the haps?
What's going on?
Happy friggin' Monday.
Yep.
We locked in the guys are figuring out a way to get to go internet Brooklyn. That's a good one. What you gonna start with there, sir?
I've got Orange Milkshake IPA.
Okay.
Always Sunny from Manhattan Brewing Company. This is Manhattan, Kansas.
I've got a couple of special beers here later that I still haven't drank from, that I have never had at all, from Full Fledged Brewing, just outside of Lincoln, Nebraska. So I'm sorry, Omaha, Nebraska. It's there. It's in. Is it Council Bluffs? I think is what it is. Council Bluffs. So looking forward to trying that. By the way, as we're getting the show kicked off, I see these last couple of weeks you've done a little live Q&A type thing during the show, PBA shows.
Yeah. Just there was a lot of people that have been talking about that they're just sick of. They don't like the new guy, which they're never going to like the play-by-play. It's just not possible because they're not the play-by-play guys aren't bowlers. They're there to run the show.
Correct. And
to keep going back to it, the one time I got a chance to do it, that guy didn't know anything about bowling.
No.
But he was super smooth running the broadcast. And so that was one of those, neither one of us could have done it without the other one. Of the two, there's no way in hell that I could have actually functionally ran that show without him.
I actually got asked to go do, but I just got back in the country for last 10 days or whatever. But I actually got asked to go do the Baker's conference tournament at Lawrence. They wanted me to do the live stream with them, so I couldn't do it. But oh well, it's all good. I think that'd have been a lot of fun. It's not ESPN the Ocho by any means.
Yeah, but I mean,
honestly, Randy's done it so long he could probably run the broadcast himself.
He probably could, but everybody's sick of him too because he's had the same dad jokes for 20 years now.
Dirtier in the gas station bathroom, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's the same stuff, and I guess people have been really on him about the favoritism stuff lately, where he makes all the excuses in the world for the more experienced bowlers, but the new guys, it's always this lucky thing or that lucky thing or whatever else. And so I thought I'd done it before, and so I thought, well, I can't show it on here obviously, but I can hang out and do a Q&A, and if people want to watch it on the TV and then put me on the phone, then plus we can actually chat about it too. So it's kind of like a video chat type of thing.
Yeah.
Or there was a lot of people that were working too. It's like, well, I can't watch the show, but I can at least pull up your stream and listen to it and hear about it. So
yeah.
I had the opportunity, or I thought, well, let's try it last week, and then I was supposed to be bowling that tournament this week, but we had Angel's windshield to replace, and so it's like, well, we got the trips coming up, and so I don't really want to spend the extra $150 or whatever it's going to be. But then of course Storm Dog happened today, and
Storm Dog's thing, and then it just
he got a
bad luck here.
Yeah, the short version is somehow he got a cut under his eye, and so we had to take him in, and he had to get stitched up, and now he's got a cone, and he looks like a doofus.
He looks like he went 12 rounds with Tyson, though. He really does.
I think it looks worse than it is, but yeah, he had a flap under his eye, and so they had to shave it all, and then they had to sew it up, and then of course his eyes, they had the blood kind of stained his face a little bit, and then they had to, his eyes running a little bit, and so
I'm sure.
he looks like he's in a whole lot worse shape than he is, but they got him all cleaned up and got the stitches in, and he's going to be in the cone for another week and a half. But
oh gosh, he's gonna hate that. He'll be back to his peppy self here soon.
yeah. So,
But I drank more tequila on this trip while I was gone than I think I have my entire life. I did buy a nice little $150 bottle of tequila while I was gone.
there you go.
Do you like tequila at all?
Huh?
Do you like tequila?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
the stuff that I have, I'm bringing it over for the next show because it is Zipper. It's 100% agave. I bought it in Mexico. So my father-in-law, while I was down there, bought a $260 bottle of tequila, and it's black tequila.
Mm.
So, yes, I had a good time. I was in Mexico twice. I did go on an underwater submarine that had a glass bottom. That was freaking cool. Got to see the corals and stuff like that underneath. It was definitely hot, but I'm ready to be back home, which I am now. Finally, after today, a lot of travel, and I get to bowl tomorrow. So it'll be the second time I bowled in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It makes it even better. I've got Springfield this weekend. So
Yeah, I'll warm back up to it. Yeah, we had while you were gone, we had a day that was 81 during the day, and it got all the way down to like 16, 17, 18, something like that. And so it was halfway chilly when I walked in to work. It was last Monday or Tuesday. And then when we got out of work, it was blowing and the temperature dropped like 40 degrees. And then, it was in the teens overnight.
Did it snow?
Yeah, it did actually. It looked like it was raining Dippin' Dots.
That's pretty cool.
It wasn't hail, but it was just little Dippin' Dot looking. It's like if you got vanilla Dippin' Dots, that's what it looked like, was just sprinkled all over the place. It's kind of wild.
Oh, forgot to mention while I was gone too, because on those boats, a lot of times when you're in international waters, you can buy alcohol tax free.
Yeah.
I snagged 4 big bottles of Crown. It was mix and match any of them. I just did Crown Black. 4 bottles of Crown Black, which is a little more the higher end Crown. $4 bottles for $80 tax free.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of alcohol. I brought home 5 bottles of alcohol.
Yeah.
That tequila, I'm bringing it. You're gonna love it. It's a good sipper. Good sipper.
Yeah. I don't. I'm more into whiskey, but I do like sipping on some tequila. So.
Oh yeah, it's got to be good tequila though. Like it can't be a good one, but it's a good one to mix with a margarita. So. Yeah,
see, that's the thing is, it's got to be.
Oh yeah, it was really cool though to learn about how they make it, whether you're a drinker or not. Listen to them go through the process of how they age the agave and all that cool stuff. It's really neat to learn the history of all that stuff. So bring tequila to Southwest. Oh yeah, I can do that, Luke. I can bring a little bit of that old tequila to Southwest in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You and I are doubles together down in Southwest, aren't we?
Yep. So yeah, that's in 2 weeks.
So I was talking to Bruce actually, and he's in here now, and he was apparently telling me that they run between the sweeper Friday night and then the tournament itself on Saturday, Sunday. They run 2 different lane machines. So I guess on Friday night they don't hook as much during the sweeper, and then Saturday, Sunday during the tournament itself. I may have this backwards, but I'm pretty sure this is what he said. I think it was coming from Lockwood. But apparently Saturday, Sunday, they just absolutely hook a crap load like normal.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because the last 2 years, everybody's, oh my God, it hooks out the building, and then I get down there and can't get anything to move.
Yep.
So I will be okay if they hook.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, I'm good with it. I'll just bring that high road, and we should be all right.
Dippin' Dot snow is called grapple.
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay, Bruce, that's correct. More hook and tournament this week. Okay. So we're going to have to give it the North Rock heater. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's okay.
I was talking to Bull yesterday. He said it was a coin flip, even squad to squad. Isn't it usually the lower end usually plays a little tighter than the high end? And when we get to the high end, they always seem to hook a piss load.
Yeah, the lower end's tighter and the higher end hooks more.
Oh, and Bruce Bruce said we should do something like Brooklyn Boogs or something like that, or Team Brooklyn, that's right, Boog, or something like Go Boog or something like that. The Brooklyn Boogers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? All joking aside, congratulations to Boog. He's a local guy here. And it's really cool to see that guy win. It really is, because, I mean, you and I both know, James is in here, he knows how good that kid really is.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. So he
got-
deserves it.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
He put in a bunch of work and got really good really quick, because he was one of those guys that was just kind of like, okay, he was somebody that you recognized when he walked in the building and you knew he could play and he was probably going to be a factor, but he went from just kind of being one of the group to being up there with the Brad Millers and the Zach Wilkins, and it's like he was, you just reckon the way that you saw him was completely different in a very, very short period of time.
For sure. The thing that guy can do with the loft and a bowling ball is pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it's funny. He's not a big guy.
No.
And he's got so much raw power for a little guy. I mean, he's stocky. Boog's a stocky little guy. I mean, he's no taller than I am, but he's a lot stockier than I am, and I wish I could throw it as hard as he does two-handed. There's just no way.
Yeah. Did you get to see the tournament the weekend before that had Marshall Kent, EJ Tackett, and
I did. Yeah.
Okay, so watch them miss the head pin to the left several times.
Yes, I did.
So that's one of the things that we've been talking about. There's a lot of people that say, well, the ball return on the left lane isn't in the way, and so they can move left faster. But at the same time, the left lane has been requiring them to move left faster. They've started out further left on that lane, and where they've been starting wasn't putting them up against the ball return on the right lane. So I don't know if they would I don't know if they're starting where they're comfortable with on the left lane and just trying to play as far right as possible on the right lane so that they have room. They still give themselves room to move. But the left lane, that doesn't account for the left lane getting torn up so much faster. Like the right lane has been wetter and tighter and just has seen, people just keep missing it to the right.
Right.
Or the ball, the ball is not, it doesn't recover. It doesn't hook as much. The back ends are a lot tighter. And so you see a lot of the ball not hooking on the right lane. And so it's like, okay, well, if it's not hooking, they're obviously not going to move left. And so the whole, well, they can move further left on the left lane thing doesn't really track for me, especially when they move left and the ball just insta hooks.
Yes.
And that's been a thing. That's been a thing for the last several shows where the left lane starts out drier and then it just turns into an absolute catastrophe. Yeah. And the right lane stays wet. It gets a little spotty. The back ends tighten up even more. And again, 2 weeks ago, or the tournament before this last one, Marshall Kent missed the head pin to the left twice, and EJ Tackett missed the head pin to the left once. Yes. And it's just everybody's fighting the left lane all the time. Now, depending on the foundations, this was something interesting. When they put all the grandstands and they put all those people down on the sides, depending on the foundations below, especially on some of the newer centers built within the last 20, 25, 30 years, Westridge is just a bunch of jack stands of 2x4s underneath because the floor is just a flat concrete floor. But then it's just the lanes are on jack stands of 2x4s. That's all that's under there.
What's gauge?
Gauge is concrete.
Oh.
And each lane, like there's concrete bays. It's hollow underneath, so it's not just straight concrete, but concrete is underneath. So it's like U-shaped, or it's like big rectangles that support the lane. So if you have like a rectangle and it supports all the sides of the lanes, it's hollow underneath, but it's concrete.
Right.
And so there's concrete that runs between the lanes, and of course not under the ball return, but there is concrete on either side of the ball returns, and then directly under the joint that doesn't have a ball return. And so gauge was always perfect on topography, and that's actually why I think it's a little bit harder there, because Westridge just frickin' sags. I mean, Westridge is.
I thought it was you that said that the topography of gauge was actually phenomenal.
Well, that was the thing whenever. Or sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
But that was the thing. Whenever a ball bounced off the track at Westridge, they would go down to the ends and take the side panels off, because a ball hops off the track at Westridge and it can roll 10 lanes over because there's just nothing under there.
That makes sense. From what I understand, they still have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I haven't experienced it personally, but I've heard that they still have a problem. I don't really bowl there, so.
Yeah, but so when you have grandstands lining the side and all that extra weight, it's going to pull, it's going to mess with that topography something fierce. And seeing as how the left lane specifically has been the problem, but they don't have people going down on the right side. I think it's just now they have some other things going on the right side, but they don't have the grandstands and all the people running down they've got all that on the left side. And so I could see that making that left lane.
Yeah. Really on the right side, all they've really got is production just to the right, and then down, obviously cables and whatnot. And then I think Randy and whoever that new guy is sits down, whoever is in that spot at a normal time. They just sit down lane, the front right, correct?
Yeah, they're down lane on the front right, but they're kind of a ways away.
Yeah. They're quite a ways away. Yeah, that's right. So that makes sense. I never even thought about that until you just said that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, several people actually mentioned that. Like, I wonder if all that weight over there is, messing with things. And at Gage, no, not a prayer. I mean, you could put frickin' elephants in there, and that stuff's not going anywhere, because I actually got to see when Gage was doing the synthetic install. I happened to be in there a couple times, just bowling or shooting video or whatever else, and I got to see what was actually under there, and just it was.
That's cool though.
Gage is built, and we never had to worry. There was always, every time we went and checked Gage, pristine, some of the best topography. Of course, we only looked at 2 centers, so obviously it would be the best topography I've ever seen. But we're talking level to within a couple thousandths either side of zero. I mean, just absolute freaking perfection. And we always had one kickback that was out, but it was the same kickback, and we know which one it was, and there wasn't anything that we could do about it.
Yeah. There's a couple pairs at Royal Crest I'd like to see the topography on. Obviously, it's going to be closer to the high end, right around the ramp pairs. I'd like to see. I've asked Larry before if he knows what it is, or Jesse, and they said, nah, I don't really know. But I would like to see what it is. Just, because those two, the pair to the left and the pair to the right, are just so wonky.
Yeah, and I don't know, because the pair to the left, 23 and 24 is not bad. 24 is worse than 23. 25 is wretched. 25 is worse. Yeah, it's the worst lane in the building by a long shot.
It's like you're bowling downhill.
Yeah.
On the right side, anyways. It always feels like it's just that lane hooks more than the other.
Mm-hmm.
But then the only time I ever bowl on that lane, or that pair in general, is, or both pairs really, is if we're bowling in one of Dave and Mike's tournaments and we happen to hit that pair. So, or both of those pairs. So luckily we don't bowl league down there.
The people acting like a wall to trap the heat from the lights. That was the other thing. I guess the TV sets aren't near as hot as they used to be. It used to be a thing with the TV production, the lights, it would, evaporate the oil quicker because it was hotter. Well, these are LED lights now. The inexperienced TV players, I know what David Johns is getting at here. But they were kind of doing that all week. Like, there was when they were showing the shots that got BOOG and then Tim Foy on the show, BOOG was lofting lofting it to the arrows. And so I think that's kind of how they played them all week. But the thing is that, again, the left lane is breaking down completely different than the right lane. And you would assume that they would be kind of doing the same things on both lanes. And even Bill, it continued. If you go back and watch the last several shows, the ball is over skidding on the right lane. They have trouble getting the ball to hook on the right lane. And then the left lane is just absolutely obliterated, absolutely gone. And another thing that was pointed out too is that the PBA uses Brunswick machines, and which is really weird that they have all these different things on the PBA patterns. Well, they're supposed to be that Billy Hardwick pattern like a little over half is forward application, half of it's reverse, and then there's some combined. Brunswick machines can't lay reverse oil.
Nope.
And the PBA uses Brunswick machines exclusively. So why design patterns that have reverse or combined direction oil if the machine putting it down can't apply the reverse oil? So 100% of the oil is forward.
Do they have a traveling machine again, or are they back to using house machines?
No, it's always Brunswick machines. They have traveling machines.
Okay. I know for a little bit they were using house machines. I know the regional tour used house machines. They used to have dedicated machines for the regions and have a lane guy, but
yeah,
I think they just run the pattern on house stuff now. But I didn't know if they had a dedicated lane machine that they travel with. They probably have a couple, I'd assume. But
yeah. Okay. Brooklyn's for the weekend. Okay, Eric. Yeah, this might be a thing then. I didn't feel like Northbrook hooked a lot at all on the left side last weekend. And that's the funny thing that it's always righties telling me it's it's just hooking out the building, and I get down there and it's just nothing really hooks, and it's really which I'm not going to complain about that at all. I kind of like having if they're just super soft, slow back ends, sign me up. That's going to be perfect. But because all I've been doing is just fighting ball reaction for the last couple months. And so if I can get down there and the ball just kind of walks down there and they get into the pocket, I'll be in heaven. But
we'll
that's
find
always
out.
the thing. That's always the thing is everybody, oh my God, they're just hooking like crazy like usual. And I go down, it's like,
I just know they always fly.
Yeah.
Team events, last year, if I remember right, last year we bowled team event on Saturday, both squads on the low end. I think I ended up on the same pair both sets. They definitely were. They were definitely tighter than what we bowled on the high end for sure. The high end just hooked out the building. Jake cracked them.
The high end was okay. It hooked a little bit more for me. I think I think I used that Volt Pearl all year last year.
I think so. Pretty sure that sounds accurate.
Make sure to take, and I'm not even past the IQ 78 is been better than I expected it to be, but it's totally different. It's lane shined. Again, it's just all this for some whatever reason. Like I really enjoyed. I need to fix my Zen U up, but all the Storm urethane balls have been so much better for me with shine than with surface. And so the 78, I let it shine up, and it's like, okay, well, this is actually okay. At the Zen U looked really good at Nationals last year. Got me a pretty big check, lane shined. And so, yeah, I think that stuff's going to go, and I might just, plunk it down the side and do my little lefty thing, and not mess with it.
But while we were on before I forget, because I only watched the show this week, and I had to watch it on my phone because I didn't have any cell service. Did somebody say something about the ball returns being in a weird location, like in a wonky place this week? Like they're further up or something?
I can't remember what that was, but yeah, the ball returns were a little bit further up in some situations.
They looked like they were tucked up further, but maybe. And like I said, I was watching on the bar return to foul line distance very short. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense then. Can we put to bed or put to rest? If I can talk. Too much tequila this week. The whole Brooklyn thing, like it's just getting freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, this is something that I wanted. I talked about a little bit after we got done yesterday, but looking at Facebook and seeing what everybody else is saying.
Come on, back upstairs.
BOOG wasn't the only one that had problems over there.
No.
All of them. I mean, Bill and everybody, inexperienced bowlers on TV, it's like, well, EJ and Bill started in the same place that they did too. I had, somebody that kind of clapped back at me. I said, well, they didn't know how to break the lanes down. I'm like, well, you're not going to get to TV and forget how to break lanes down. Maybe it's, transition is definitely different on TV.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just you're not getting the same amount of traffic. the players are trying to beat the pattern up as fast as they can to get some kind of transition on there, so they've got a little bit more stability. But the thing is that nobody had the left lane at any point. Bill O'Neill had it for like 2 or 3 frames, maybe. So nobody had the left lane. But Boog was the one that got the hits. And he kept moving every shot. And then when Bill finally moved in there where Boog was at, then all of a sudden it's kind of like, well, okay, Boog gets a couple Brooklyns, and it's kind of like, whatever. But as soon as Bill goes through the nose, and then he moves into where Boog's at, and then it hooks more, then it's like, oh, okay, well, now I get it. So, yeah, Bill got in there, he's like, wow. That's what Boog was saying the whole time. It's like, oh, I'm trying to move left, but I move left and it hooks more. All you can do is throw a shot, make an adjustment, throw another shot, and see what happens. It's not like they knew exactly what was going to happen. Adjustments are always like, well, I think this is what I need to do based on experience and whatever else. It's like, okay, well, that hooked too much, and so I feel like I ought to move this amount and throw it again, and it just kept hooking and kept hooking. And then everybody else was inside of there, and then it was loft, and then the lane just kept hooking and kept hooking and kept hooking, and Boog just got some of the hits.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Bill missed a spare in the middle of that game. It was 1-2-8 that he missed.
Yep.
And that he would have won. And then Boog made a really good shot. He made the correct decision. It worked out for him. If they would have had to go back to the left lane, there's zero way that Boog's in the championship match.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But it's kind of like, well, get on there, and Boog got a messenger, and Bill didn't, and he moved on to the championship match, and he just bowled better than Tomas did.
Tomas had the left lane.
Yeah.
He didn't have the left lane.
Yes, but nobody had the left lane at any point. And Tim Foy had it, but it just was hooking more and kept hooking, kept hooking, kept hooking, kept hooking.
Can we talk about how much the theorem's getting thrown down there on the tour? I've seen a lot of theorems going down lane here lately.
Yeah, it's one of those that it's in virtual energy blackout territory where it's strong and it's consistent, but it's still clean and kind of shapes. And so it gives them the stronger ball effect with a little bit of down lane shape, so that it's something that's just right there in that zone where it's very versatile, where they can use it. Again, it's what motive guys throwing the Venom Shock so much, because it's just the right strength and they can use it from anywhere on the lane. But the theorem is just, and I mentioned this on the show yesterday, it's just the Brunswick stuff is stronger. The covers are stronger than the Storm stuff. And so they're just a whole lot more stable in oil. And it's just been amazing so far how the pearls are still or the shiny stuff is still so clean and sharp while being so consistent at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just, the stuff's just going to hook, and you can trust it to always dig and always hook. I mean, the consistency is just off the charts. And so, yeah, the theorem is one of those to where if they have a higher friction lane surface, they can absolutely throw that, just knock the shine off, put a little bit of, just take a 3000 pad to it, and they're good to go. But yeah, Billy's look with the theorem was about the best that anybody had all day.
Oh yeah. I mean, also too, I was thinking about it. Didn't Bill O'Neill here a couple weeks ago go Brooklyn to beat Ryan Barnes in Wichita? I mean,
that was the other thing, is that Bill had a similarly awful road to winning the Players Championship. That telecast, that wasn't pretty either. I mean, it was literal definition of a shit show. And it's just Bill, he got a couple Brooklyns, and he had some other stuff, some can openers, some stuff that went through the nose, and it's just, he got the breaks, and the other guys didn't.
What it takes to win. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, if you think about it too, Bill also had, in the first Players Championship he won, the one where he beat EJ, he went through the face and crumbled the pocket to win that Players.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Billy's got luck. Don't let him fool. It's just some of the things that people are saying on the PBA Facebook post of Boog is ridiculous. People just need to realize.
I mean, and that's the thing, is it's not his fault that they just carried for him and didn't carry for anybody else, because he had another one where he went through the nose and rolled the 3-pin.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't control that. And I know he tried to apologize to Bill, but it's like, Bill deserves to be upset. He should be mad, but he can't be mad at Boog. It's not his fault that the pins fell down. I mean, sometimes bowling is just like a slot machine. You push the button and you wait and see what happens. And in bowling, you throw the shot, you wait and see what happens.
Yeah, you can't control once you let it go, you can't control what happens.
But the thing is that the better bowlers are the ones who are able to consistently put themselves in a position for things to happen more often. Boog put himself in a position for things to happen, and things happen. You don't want to look. You don't want to win that way. You don't want to lose that way. But somebody's got to win. And it was super, super ugly, and he just came out on top because he got the breaks. And
it's bold.
Yeah, that happened. That's happened to everybody. Everybody's been on the receiving end, and everybody's been on the shitty end.
Does that mean that Boog has to still use for the rest of this year, or is that kicking next year?
I think he still has to bowl PTQs, because I seem to remember that happened for another bowler, is that they won a title, but it doesn't kick in until the following year. Now he does get in the Tournament of Champions and booted whoever was, on the bubble out. But
he's up there in points too. Kid's bowling really good.
Yeah, James, I'll put that. Okay, I'll come back to that question. But yeah, PTQs this year doesn't kick in until next year. Yeah.
Well, at least he doesn't have to worry about points.
But he will be able to bowl the TOC without having to PTQ through it. Because what they do for that is they let regional champions
bowl the PTQ.
Yeah. You have to be a champion to bowl it, but if you have a regional championship at least, or a PWBA, as far as I know, James will know, PWBA regional, whatever else, you can enter, you're eligible for the TOC, but some people have to go through the PTQ still. Coming back to this, I did a video 4 years ago about breaking lanes down. Yeah, it seems like it might not hurt for a refresher. I might have to just re-upload, just delete and then re-upload that video, because it's not a simple short video, but this one that I did came out immaculate. It just, the stars all aligned and this video came out perfect. So I might just have to re-upload it, because it just came out perfect. It was talking about breaking down the Nationals team pair and how to break a lane down, and it was just great. So I will probably just re-upload that. And it was when I was still right-handed, so that'll be even more applicable.
I remember that video. Now that you mentioned that, I remember you making a video about that.
Yeah, it's lane. I think it's called lane conditioning. I'll drop it in the. Come on.
Just make me excited for major on string pins.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see that happening.
Share copy.
It was definitely back when you were right-handed for sure. Yeah. I remember seeing it because I think you were doing it.
Chicken wing. Yeah. Yeah. This is why all my old videos were lane level and you didn't see me bowling.
Well.
All the complaints did was make me excited for a major on string pins. And that's the thing, is everybody, and again, I am not defending string pins. I would rather not bowl on string pins. I would rather just bowl on regular pins. If I have to bowl on them, I probably will. But the crazy things that happen on regular pins, people, the pins fall different and weird things are going to happen. They already happen. So
bowling twister pins, they're different than wood.
Yeah, twister pins are different from wood, and then strings are different from the rest of them. And yeah,
I'm with you. I would probably do. If that's all I can bowl on, that's all I can bowl on. If I want to bowl, that's what I'm gonna have. I'm not gonna have a choice. So I think I'd much rather keep bowling than I would just quit because they're, oh my gosh, they got strings attached to them.
Yeah.
So, is it a preference? No. But I wouldn't mind to bowl a tournament on one. But if everybody's bowling on, everybody's bowling on.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing sometimes is that if the pattern sucks or something else sucks, as long as it sucks for everybody, then it's equal.
Yeah.
And so it's like it doesn't matter what the conditions are, it doesn't matter what's going on, it doesn't matter because everybody's having to deal with it. And so you still gotta do something better than somebody else.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Isn't next year's Southwest going to be on strings? I have no idea.
I wouldn't put it past them.
I wouldn't shock me if they did it.
But
if they were in that center, I don't think they will though because of the PBA stuff that they've got going.
Yeah, they're not good. As soon as they put the PBA on strings, that's gonna be a problem. And so I would say that they're gonna keep North Rock as traditional as they can for a while. And actually, I've heard that all the changes that they've made to North Rock, it actually looks pretty good in there. And I guess you were down there for the tournament a couple of weeks ago and said it's Bolero, but it looks awful good.
It pops. I don't like the bowlers area. I like the old setting or the old school setting that we had down there with the Brunswick tables. But the building itself really pops. Now the banner masking units that they put down for the players made it stand out a little bit instead of the white screen projection masking units. But yeah, it looks really good in there. I think you'll be impressed if you haven't been in there. I think you will anyway.
Yeah, I haven't been in there yet. So, we'll be down there for Southwest here in a couple of weeks. Next weekend, actually, not this upcoming weekend, but the following weekend.
Yep.
Rumor has it that North Rock is switching to strings.
Is North Rock even getting the Southwest next year?
That's the other thing is that we just don't know. Now that Brent Bowers has the other couple, he's got Seneca and
Derby?
Derby, yeah, Seneca and Derby, I'm pretty sure. They might actually, that would be something very interesting is if he took over Southwest and they had team event in one house and double singles in the other one instead of having everything at North Rock. I would be okay with that. I'd go bowl at Brent Bowers centers. I
know Brent Bowers has got a good relationship with the people from the Southwest from that tournament that run it. So it wouldn't shock me. To me, if Bolero lets that tournament go with all the guaranteed money that comes in from that tournament, because it's always packed. Everybody drinks.
Everybody's drinking like that, yeah.
They're going to eat. 90% of the people bowl 2 team squads. If I'm there all night, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to drink beer. And then I'm probably going to have another beer. And then it's silly to me. But I know they really want their open play.
I mean, when you're drinking at Bolero prices too. That's really the thing is Southwest packs the entire building. I realized that they could have open play in there, but packing the entire building and having people still ordering drinks and pizza and whatever else, I think that 48 lanes full, 5 bowlers on a lane, I mean, I think that would probably be worth it.
Because if it goes to Texas, I probably won't bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it's like having a Knights of Columbus tournament. It's like Jerry and Jesse aren't big on tournaments at Westridge, but if there's a Knights of Columbus tournament, they would rather have it at Gage, but they ain't going to turn it down at Westridge.
No, they drink.
Those guys drink.
Apparently, that big tournament, that tournament from I think it was TNBA, I think is what it was, but it was one of their big events. But they hosted it at Gage here. It was in 2023, but it was in summertime, I think.
Yep.
And it was like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. Apparently, those people drink a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Like they made requests for people what they wanted at the bar.
Yeah.
And ordered for them types thing. So, Are you bowling the Mexican American in Emporia?
Probably. When's that at? Or when is that?
The first weekend of April. And they only do it one weekend.
Yeah, maybe not. Because I mean, we got Southwest, and we're going to be in Pennsylvania for a week. So probably not.
It's only one weekend. They pack it in there pretty good, but
I would like to. And that might be one of those things where we might just make an excuse to go down there and eat at Radius and come watch some people. I don't know if we'll actually bowl it.
I'll be down there. I don't know my squad times yet. I probably have been told that 15 times, but I don't remember what they are. I've got a bowl Springfield this weekend. I leave Friday. We're going to take Raylan to the aquarium down there at Bass Pro. We've never gone. It's amazing. Have you guys gone?
The aquarium?
At Bass Pro?
The Bass, which one? The one in Springfield?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys have never been in that one?
No.
Okay. Yeah, we go in the Bass Pro every single time. That place is wild.
Oh, I've been to Bass Pro many, many, many times in Springfield.
Yeah. We're going to the Bass Pro aquarium. Okay, yeah, we haven't done that one. Okay.
From what I understand, it's one of the best in the country, if not the best. So
yeah.
The one in Branson is solid too. The Branson Aquarium.
Yeah, but I think the Bass Pro one's probably even quite a bit bigger. Yeah, the Branson Aquarium is really cool, but yeah, I'm sure that the one at Bass Pro is ridiculous.
We bought tickets for it on the way home, so we're excited. We're going to go middle of the day, Saturday or Friday. I think we're the only ones in our group going down on Friday. Mm-hmm. So we'll get down there and we're just going to spend some time just hanging out. So we'll go down Friday, and then the following weekend we have Southwest, obviously. I'll be by myself. I think you're by yourself. I'm by myself, and then Bruce is by himself.
Yeah. I was going to talk to you about that too, because James and I are going to be rooming together, and we're going to get down there Friday afternoon.
Okay.
I had kind of talked a little bit of schedule with James, but at the same time, I talked a little bit more with Angel, and she had some good ideas. So we had thought doing like Dino's Friday afternoon if you get down there, but Dino's might be a really good thing to do after we get done on Saturday, because it's going to be right there next to the hotels, and we're not going to be done bowling until like 9 or 9:30 on Saturdays.
Yeah.
On Saturday, so we don't want to go to the Anchor. We don't want to go to Dempsey's or something and be up until midnight with bowling.
We can go for lunch before bowling on Saturday too, because we don't bowl at 1:30, right?
Yeah, and see, that's the other thing. We could do that for lunch. So we might actually do, like, when we get in on Friday, we might actually do something like the Anchor or Dempsey's instead. James isn't sure if he's going to bowl the sweeper or not. I know I'm not going to bowl it. But James might, and if nothing else, we'll come out and hang out for a little bit. So
I'm thinking about bowling, and the only reason why I'm really leaning towards bowling is because, like I mentioned at the top of the show, I've bowled once in the last 3 weeks, and I get Tuesday, Thursday this week, and then I get Springfield, and then I get Tuesday, Thursday. It would just give some reps for $40 or whatever it is. It just gives me some reps before the weekend. So I
might bowl it too. It depends on how I bowl on Thursday. If I bowl okay next Thursday, then I'll probably be fine. But if I don't want a little bit, again, like you said, some more reps, then I might bowl it too. If everybody else is bowling it, is 4 games or whatever, then sure.
I think Dylan's talking about bowling too. So if I'm there, and we don't have to get up early, I might as well bowl.
Yeah, so that's the other thing too, is that we don't have to get up early. We can lay around in bed and then we can go do whatever Saturday. So, but yeah, we can talk about it a little bit more, and
we can talk Thursday.
Yeah, we'll talk on Thursday about it and get it all figured out.
Sounds good to me.
Let's see. We can talk. Does anybody want to talk any more PBA show or any of the PBA shows? It was nice to see. Crap, I can't even remember who won last week.
Oh, you just made me draw a blank.
Was it Kyle Troop? Yeah, I think it was Kyle Troop.
Kyle Troop, yeah.
It was Troop, because he barely got through Zach Wilkins, who bowled ridiculous. He's 1-1 on TV now with like a 253.5 average. Just ridiculous. And if Zach would have made it through Kyle, or if Kyle wouldn't have carried something, and this is the other thing, is that Kyle shot 279. I'm not sure that he bowled 279. He had that. I mean, he could throw it anywhere between 2 and 6. He had an absolute trough. And it was just, and you can look at this, and I would like to have Zach on to pick his brain about this, because Zach missed a 10-10 in the second frame. And if he spares that, he shoots 280.
And he wins.
Yeah, and he wins. But at the same time, you could pick apart that game several different ways, because Kyle had a couple that it's like, oh my God, he threw that one out the window, but it somehow hooked, or he tugged the piss out of it and it sat there, and it's like, okay, well, he scored 279 or 278 or whatever, but it could have pretty easily been 220 or 230.
Oh, yeah.
And so Zach didn't necessarily, you know, and it's one of those things, whatever happens, happens. You can sit there and think about it and say woulda, coulda, shoulda, and be all upset and pissy about it, but that's not exactly how Zach operates. At some certain point, you have to say, okay, this is what happened. And so you just focus on what happened and you move on. It doesn't matter how it happened, why it happened, whatever else. It happened. And so you have to deal with it and move on. You can, in the bowling world, you can drive yourself crazy thinking about woulda, shoulda, coulda 24/7 constantly.
Yeah.
But I think Zach's the kind of player that's like, yeah, I missed the 10 pin and it pissed me off. But, you know, Kyle, I missed it. Zach, or I recovered through the back frickin' 10 or whatever. And Kyle bowled a good game. He got a couple breaks. If he didn't get those couple breaks, then the 10 pin doesn't even matter.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
But
the one that stood out to me in the shot that Troop made was, like you said, he threw a couple of them out the window. There was one where he got it to the gutter really late. And I'm like, oh God,
Yeah.
that's 4. Possibly either a washout or 4. Like it was, I couldn't believe the ball made the corner. It looked like the ball just looked like the lane went dump and the ball just went left. I thought, all in all, I thought Zach, I was pretty proud of Zach. I mean, even seeing some emotion out of him. I know he's had a lot of things going on. I don't know if you saw, but his soon-to-be mother-in-law passed.
Yeah.
So
and that's why he wasn't even supposed to bowl that tournament.
Yes.
And so that's what he said. She was in bad shape. But you know, I think
I talked to him. Yeah, I talked to him that Saturday before the show to see how he was doing, and he said he's definitely got a heavy heart, and didn't say he was going to show that much emotion. I was pumped, man. We're seeing him act like that because we don't see that side of Zach.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He was part of the reason that I decided to do the extra commentary and stuff. And that's what I said. As soon as he struck and then he flagged that 10 pin, I'm like, and Troop started out with the front 3, and I'm like, well, Zach doesn't get rattled by stuff like this. He just doesn't. No. And so he's going to pick it up and he's going to put several shots together, and he did.
Yeah.
Kyle just, you know, the pins fell, and it's not like Kyle didn't make good shots. And that's the other thing, is that pro bowlers do the same thing that the rest of us do. They find the ball and the place on the lane that's the best combination that gives them the most amount of miss room, and then they just abuse the hell out of it. And that's what he did. He picked the right ball, is in the right part of the lane, making good shots, getting it off his hand good. And sometimes even if your targeting is a little off, getting it off your hand good is going to make good things happen. And that's just what happened.
Yeah.
So you could pick apart that game too.
Oh yeah. You can and Zach, though, you can see the confidence oozing out of him. Like he's,
I
think seeing better ball reaction that he's seen in a long time. Brunswick stuff definitely is where he should have been for a while. Well, at least it's hard to say that because he was with Motive forever, but him being in a good situation right now. And with that being said, I think he's going to benefit from the more, obviously more bowling balls coming his way with the other brands. It's just going to help him. I mean, he's got confidence just seeing the way he makes ball changes. I don't remember seeing him make those kind of ball changes when he was with Motive. Well, that's because they all do the same thing, but you want to know what ball looks really good though, and I've seen a lot of Trevor throws it quite a bit too. It's that sensor solid.
Sensor solid. Yep. I knew that's what you were gonna say, because James was throwing keelers the other day, and he said something to me. It's like, dude, I threw keeler sensor solid the other day, and like, yeah, that's one of the really quiet ones that as soon as that gets discontinued and hits the gets on the big sale on Bowler's Mart, I think that's going to happen.
Oh, I'm going to buy one for sure. But that sensor solid looks damn good, and isn't it like a middle pack ball?
It's basically a Venom Shock, because it's got a low RG, but it's got like an 035 differential, and so it's
technically lower.
It's a Venom Shock. It doesn't have that super strong of a cover either, but it does a lot for what it looks like on paper.
Yes. Huh. What are your thoughts on Troop reading the book while he was bowling the other day? That was interesting.
That was very interesting, but he hurt his hand high-fiving that guy in the crowd in the middle of the match against Zach. And reading the book it was very interesting to see him getting all kinds of excited. And that's the other thing I said is that Troop was on the front 5 or 6 and Zach was behind, 30 some odd pins or whatever from the Open. And Troop was getting all bouncing off the walls and hand slapping and whatever else. I'm like, well, that's not going to phase Zach either. He's like, okay, whatever. You bounce around and do your thing and pick it out or whatever. We're still bowling here. It doesn't. I mean, Kyle bouncing around, momentum swings, whatever else. It's like, I'm still going to knock pins down. That doesn't have anything to do with anything. That's just the way that Zach's mind works. But yeah, he hurt his hand, and so I think he was reading the book to try. Yeah, it was his thumb. He caught the guy's ring or something on his thumb, and it just stung the living crap out of him.
Oh, I bet that hurt.
Yeah, even though he doesn't use his thumb, it's still a part of the hand that he's using to deliver the ball.
Yeah.
So I think he read that book to try to focus himself and pay attention and focus on this. Don't think about the pain. Don't think about the pain. And I think it settled down. I think he was hurting for the first 6 or 7 frames of the game after Zach, but by the time he got to the championship match, I think it had settled down or it had numbed enough. He wasn't feeling it so much, but yeah. You could see him bouncing around all over the place and being typical Kyle, but then when he got into the next couple of games, he really settled down and just got laser focused. And I think that just reading the book was what kept him focused.
Oh yeah, yeah. I loved seeing Zach though in that match, seeing when Kyle's getting all fired up and everything. It's like you said, slapping hands in the crowd. Yeah. Zach throws one late, and he's like, "I'm still here.
Yeah,
it's not over.
Yeah,
I'm not going anywhere. I love it." I'm excited for him, and he's been our pony this year. We've said it every week. And then he misses the cut this week by 1 spot, so that's all right. I think he needed to get into the break and do family stuff. So.
And that's the thing is that's why I think that he put a post on Facebook and said, normally I'm disappointed about making the cut, but I'm totally fine with it this week. I think he needed the break.
Yeah,
I think he just needed it was good. He bowled well. He still cashed. He didn't make the cut, but he still cashed because the cashing spots were 25 through 32nd. So he still made some money, didn't have to keep bowling. Again, that's his worst, 25th is his worst finish all year. So he's cashed solidly in every tournament so far. So yeah, he's doing some really good things. Nice to see Chad in the chat there, C&M Collectibles.
What's happening?
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk a little nationals too because I finally get to tell you I was just given the green light while we were gone. It won't be this year, just because we went on the cruise and everything like that. That set us back. It didn't really set us back a ton, but it's more vacation time. Like I've been gone for 11 days. So
yeah,
I've been gone a long time. But I'm making my return to nationals in 2025, and I'll be going back every year. So
sweet.
Yeah, I will be going in April because you can already sign up, I think. So I think we're registered in April of 2025 for Baton Rouge.
Sweet.
So I am back. So it's kind of nice to be able to talk strategy and stuff again. And looking a little bit on the or some of the shots I've seen. It looks like I've seen one guy throwing looked like a purple hammer up the rail the other day.
Yep.
So it looks like the gutter's in play a little bit on the right side this year.
Yeah. We have several people from Vegas that are subscribed to my Patreon and in the Discord. We've got a lot of people from Vegas, and so they've been helping us out with some intel, going and watching some of the Bowler's Journal sessions and some of the actual bowling. And again, it's fairly similar to the way that it was last year. I think that they kind of got the scoring pace and whatever else figured out where they basically want it to be. And so it's going to be fairly similar. They did go on ahead and flip them. Now, team is the longer, heavier one now. It used to be doubles and singles, but it makes more sense to have team as the longer, heavier one rather than team being the short, kind of flat, crazy one. Yes. It being the shorter, flatter, crazier one did make people kind of work together better. But at the same time, when they start off just flying, and you had 10 people bowling on the pair, it didn't exactly there was a whole lot more separation between the teams that knew what they were doing and the teams that didn't know what they were doing. Team was definitely a whole lot more hittable last year. The teamwork still factored in. You still had to do it, but there wasn't so much of a drop off for team if you didn't know exactly what you were doing. Singles and doubles was brutal last year. Absolutely brutal. It looks like it's going to be tough again this year, but there's somebody that's already had 298 and 720 something at the BJ. So
I did see the BJ score, and I think the video that was shared of they shot like 1,300. I think was that Monticelli's him and his partner. I think it was him, Monticelli's partner.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell. I don't remember who it was. I just saw the video. Once again, it was when I had some kind of signal, I was able to look at it. And it looked like he was throwing a purple hammer up the rail. So that was that minors? So that was singles and doubles, right? That happened? Yeah, okay. So it looks like singles and doubles playable off the gut.
Yeah. 1,300 something doubles, and then Amleto shot 1960 or something for all events. Yeah. So
but we're staying on topic. Well, I'm going to take you off topic for just a second because Monticelli's name got brought up. Speaking of Monticelli, I saw that it got shared to me while I was gone, and I just got it when I got back. Amleto, it's the Monticelli PBA 2024 pattern for doubles and singles in Springfield. I have never bowled on that, so that's new to me. It looks like we actually got a couple patterns this year in Springfield.
Yeah, they're not just kind of they're not house shots, but they're not that tough. Yeah, there's some actual patterns down for Springfield this year. So
we got to make shots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shot. He said that they get in, get left, and get in. So said he had 7-0 flattened team, which on that looks pretty scoreable. And then he said doubles and singles was rough.
Yeah,
if I remember right. I could be wrong, but he said they're tough at Enterprise. He said the scores were higher at Sunshine than they were at Enterprise.
That's wild. Because it doesn't matter what's down at Sunshine; it's brutal, constantly.
Oh yeah, Sunshine just. And if you have a look at Sunshine, it's usually can you carry? Like that's the other thing too. Can you get the corner out?
Yeah. So yeah, they're still fairly similar.
Okay. It looked like there's a little bit of volume. I mean, I didn't look close to him, but it looked like there's a decent amount of volume. Ooh, what's that?
This is some stuff you've got to try. I didn't get a chance to. I nursed one drink for like an hour and a half yesterday on the show. This is some stuff that Missed Move Heath sent me from Grand Traverse Distillery in Traverse City, Michigan. And it's called Isles O' Rye. And this stuff is crazy because it starts off, it hits you at first like a really spicy rye, but then it's got some peat in it, so it finishes like a scotch. It is super, super wild. And so this is another. So yeah, you bring your tequila next time, and we'll try this too.
Okay.
And so yeah, I've got to have a little bit of this.
I'm excited to let you try that tequila. That was the first thing I thought of. I was like, I really hope Luke likes tequila because I really want him to try. I also got me a Cuban cigar while I was down there, so I was happy about that. Got to have a Cuban for my cigar smokers out there.
Double and singles suck because only 6 minutes of practice and anything outside of 8 was wiggling. That just sounds like a lefty dream. I will not be mad at that at all.
You always give you only 6 minutes of practice, which is really strange. But I get it. You're only usually 4 on a pair for doubles.
Yeah, right? But God, I need. It already takes 10 minutes of practice. I mean, Friday nights are great because we get 15 minutes of practice, so I can actually get loose before we start the first game. It's going to be 6 minutes of practice, then an entire game before I even get loose.
It usually takes me at least 8 shots. 6 to 8 before I finally go like full speed. And now that I haven't bowled, like tomorrow night, I'm probably going to take 12 shots before I even throw one at full speed.
All right, James has got us the information here.
Sweet.
Team
42 feet.
Here, 42 feet, 7.5 to 1, 28 mils. So it basically kind of a challenge pattern, but higher volume.
Yep.
2024 is flatter, little longer, a little lower volume. 43 feet, 27 mils is still, you're not going to feel that difference.
No,
you
no,
might
you're-
feel a little bit flatter because Sunshine already plays super flat. So I might just be putting urethane down the rail the entire
I can
freaking time.
I can see that.
So double and singles, Enterprise 41 feet, 4-to-1, 24 mils. So 40 feet, a little easier, but
Yeah, a little more volume too.
yeah, a couple mils, several mils more volume. So
I still have yet to throw that Black Widow 3.0 we drilled because I haven't had a chance. I got sick and then I haven't had a chance to bowl. I think
Yeah.
I'm actually going to not throw it until I go to Springfield and leave that fresh cover on there.
yeah, that might look really good.
I think
3.0 is
You remember the year that I took the Paragon and left it at box surface and had a decent
Yeah.
look out of the box,
Mhm.
and then it just looked pukey and awful after that? Yeah. Enterprise is going to need a touch more service and man. That's why I think.
urethane down the ditch.
Yeah, I definitely won't be throwing urethane.
Yeah, that's a lefty luxury. I might take that Tour Dynamics and do exactly what I did at frickin'
Tulsa.
Broken Arrow. Just
If you don't bring the Tour Dynamics next year to Tulsa, do I get to just have you tell you bend over, let me kick you in the ass?
yeah, that's actually it's already bagged up and boxed up and sitting on a shelf waiting for next year because I know that I'm not going to use it until next year. But yes, and if it cracks or something, I've got to find another one because
It's the same thing I do to Hayes every year when I go bowl the Baker doubles.
Mhm.
Johnny and I always make the cut every year. Knock on wood, hopefully that keeps happening. But I always take the Odyssey, and the Odyssey in match play always has the nuts.
Yeah,
An Odyssey, and I throw it there, and it goes back in the box, and it doesn't get thrown again until next year. So it's the same thing with the recoil. I don't take the recoil other than I take it to Tulsa, but it's one that always makes the trip to North Rock. I throw it at North Rock a lot. So
Yeah.
Super chat from James. Rosal is going full lefty.
Yeah.
Might as well lean into it.
yeah. Never go full lefty.
Yeah,
Look lefty, act lefty, not lefty.
that's not the quote.
Yeah.
I was just shaving.
Yeah.
Just Broken Arrow. I have to keep that in mind. I like Broken Arrow. Give me
I-
that pin down ghost. Let me go to work. I bowled bad last year though. I just didn't have a good look last year until I started fading third arrow.
Well, that pair got pretty stupid on the left or on the right side.
Yeah, it got wonky. It's all good though.
Yeah.
It's a good beer here too. Goodness. But yeah, I'm excited for nationals. What are you thinking for prep this year? Like, what are you looking at to? I don't know. What are you thinking? Early game plan on balls.
I think the for the righties, we'll have to see if singles and doubles is as dry as it was last year because it was uncharacteristically dry. Normally, the team pattern was the short one. Doubles and singles was longer. They're about the same ratio, about the same volume. It's just team was always 38, 39 feet. Doubles and singles was 42, 43 feet. Then in 2021, after COVID, they swapped it. Team was the longer shot and double and singles was the shorter shot, but they were both still about the same volume. Last year, singles and doubles was like 23 mils. So it was short, but it was also really dry. Team was fine. It was 42 feet, 28 mils, something like that, 28 and a half, 29. And then doubles and singles was like 38, 39 feet, 23.5 mils or something like that. So it was very uncharacteristically dry. We'll have to see if they bump the volume back up for this year. Everything's going to be we're at South Point. And so everything's going to be in the arena. And then the Bowler's Journal and the practice sessions, I think, are in the center. But for me, now I've got the frickin' infinity gauntlet of urethane balls now.
You do.
So I've got black hammer, purple hammer, new blue, pitch black, IQ 78. And so I think it's just going to be abusing the 78U and the black hammer for me because I can just absolutely square up and point both of those. I'll leave some surface on the black hammer. I'll leave the 78U shiny. Might use the purple, might use the new blue. I am taking a couple reactive balls, but it's going to be, I'm going to take a Summit. I know for sure. Probably the Ultimate Defenders looked really good too. It's really smooth and blendy. And then I don't know what else, but I'm taking all the urethane stuff. Probably just going to use urethane. If I do use, the Pure Madness. The Pure Madness is absolutely going.
That one looks pretty good too.
Yeah, it acts kind of like a Crux Prime that's a little smoother.
Oh, okay.
Forge Flare. It's in Forge Flare territory.
Oh.
So yeah,
is that slow?
It's very slow. It's about the slowest reactive ball I've ever thrown, which is perfect. It looked really good because I went to the Win-A-Spot tournament a couple weeks ago in McPherson. It looked really. If I could have got my hand out of the ball, it looked really good. But so that one's going a Summit.
My before you go on, Riley will be jealous if he ever watches this because my flare, my candy corn ball is still in great shape.
Yeah.
Go ahead, carry on.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you don't take a Summit, I'll fly to Vegas and fight. I'm actually taking both of them because I drilled a new one a couple weeks ago. I've been tinkering with my fit a little bit, and so I drilled the full new fit into the new Summit. But the old one still feels fine. So I probably will take one. I'd probably take both of them. They're drilled the same, but I can either put them both at the same. If they happen to work in singles and doubles, I can put them at the same surface and then have one for singles and one for doubles. But yeah, that and the Pure Madness, possibly the NV Tour. It's just a little too strong.
Have you thrown it enough to get that shine off yet?
Not
shine off. Get the surface off.
I've gotten a little bit of shine on it, but it's still awfully dull. I keep trying to throw it, and it's just.
You might just have to go out and film one of these days. Done. Just take it and just throw some shots with it. I'm telling you, I really think once you get that box surface off of it, I think you really like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still strong. It's still strong with when it's shined up. Don't get me wrong, but it's it definitely slows it down a little bit.
Yeah, I just need to get that surface to relax a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll take a pitch black because the black hammer has pretty well. I like the shape of the black hammer better, and it's very similar to the pitch black. And actually, the purple hammer is kind of a better pitch black. It reads the lane and it has the same shape, but it's got a little bit more tip on the back end. So I will probably just forget about the pitch black and just go 78U, new blue, purple, black. And then I'll take the Pure Madness, couple Summits. So I probably will just take 8 balls.
Yeah.
And then, so.
Could you check how many? 8 or 10?
You can take 8. So you can take 8 in there. So I will probably take the 4 urethanes, Summit, Pure Madness, spare ball.
Yeah.
So that's probably what will happen.
When you have a purple in your bag, I don't think you get it, especially when you have a purple and the black pearl.
Mm-hmm.
Black hammer, I don't think there's any reason you would throw the pitch black, but I could be wrong. I mean, I know they're not the same, but to me, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch urethane wise. But
yeah, I think that the black hammer, you can feel the hardness difference. It doesn't quite dig like the pitch black does. It's a little cleaner up front, but it manages the back end really well, and it's kind of a rounder shape. The pitch black is kind of like an earlier, smoother purple hammer. But I think the purple hammer, if given a choice between a pitch black and a purple hammer, I think you throw the purple all day long. And then the black is kind of a little bit cleaner, slower version of that. And if I do want something to absolutely dig and then give up, the 78U, I just take that down to 1,000. But I really like it shiny. It's terrible with surface on it, but shiny, it looks really good. Surprisingly, shockingly good.
The Storm IQ 78.
Yeah, the IQ 78U. It's terrible with surface on it, but looks amazing with some lane shine.
No, are you still using a spare ball? Sorry.
No, I got one of the new retro Roto Grip spare balls. That's really it's basically a mix, but it's Roto Grip. It's black and it's got the cool looking logos on it, and
Cool.
it's been pretty good so far.
So it's like polythene basically.
Yeah, I could, especially with bigger volumes. I can't because I used the 78U for my spares at the Winna spot last week or a couple weeks ago, and it looked just fine. On the house patterns, it hooks a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And that's my problem with the 78U is that I like it for the right side spares because I can kind of hook into them a little bit if I need to, and the spare ball won't really do that. Spare ball is a whole lot better for the left side spares, though. The 78 just hooks a little bit too much. So
we need to get us the Hyper Venom because it's pink. Like, it's so pink. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite color is green, and they got rid of the Fatal. The green and silver color combo was amazing, but
yeah,
to that one and go just all pink, it's just sexy. I love it.
Yeah, I've got to have an Evoke and a Hyper.
The Evoke is hot.
To make that happen.
Love that color. You and I are on the same page. Everybody else doesn't like it, can kick rocks.
Yeah, I don't know why everybody thinks it's. Yeah, this is the other thing. I took 11 a couple years ago, and I checked in. I swapped out three balls for team and doubles and singles. Because you can check in 8 balls. They can be a complete. You could take 16 balls and check in 8 for one squad and 8 completely different ones for another squad.
I know I'm still a year away. I'm just trying to figure out how many I want to take. Really, it's going to come down to if I'm flying or if I'm driving.
Yeah.
Because I know that Johnny Clark and we talked about possibly driving down because Baton Rouge is only about a 12-hour drive, which is about what I just drove to Galveston. So
yeah,
it's not terrible. It's manageable. So.
Yeah, we drove down to Baton Rouge when it was there in 2020. I can't remember. I think El Paso was 2015.
I think it was 2014.
Yeah, it might have been 2014 because I know 2012 was. It might have 2012 might have been Baton Rouge.
2011
was Reno. 11 was Reno because I had a big set in singles that year.
Then it was 2012.
Yeah, it would have been 2012. I think 2013 was in Vegas, and then 2014 was in Baton Rouge. 2015 was in El Paso, unless I've got all that mixed up. Maybe 2016 was in. I don't know.
Then I'm back to thinking it was in 14 because Amanda bowled Baton Rouge, and she's never bowled since.
Yeah.
Well, not nationals. I don't know. You got me curious now. You gotta look that one up. The Evoke looks like a preschool paint by numbers, but rolls very well. From little I've seen go down lines. It's very.
I'm sure that James is already on this, but let me see here. Baton Rouge was 2012.
It was 12. Okay.
So yeah, it was Reno in 10 and 11. Then it was Baton Rouge in 12. Reno. El Paso was 2015.
Okay.
Reno, Vegas, Syracuse, which is a dump.
Syracuse?
Vegas, no tournament, Vegas. So it was in Vegas 3 years straight.
There it is. 11
Reno, Vegas, Baton Rouge, Reno, Vegas.
I bowled Reno. I'm tired of Reno. I don't know if I'll go back to Reno. That might, Trevor, he's already told me basically if I'm bowling, he wants me bowling every year. So I go with you guys, but you guys always go on Raylan's birthday.
Yeah. Reno.
Wesley Outman. Hope you guys are doing well up there. What's up, Wesley?
Oh, what's up, man? Man, I'm still eating on that cake that Angel got. Angel got a giant sheet cake and a big cookie cake for a going away party on the last week of league that Wesley was here.
When was
still
that?
Eating on that freaking cake, and I'm not mad about that at all.
It's the last 3 Thursdays. When was that?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so that was the week that was the week I left. So
yeah,
Reno
was wretched last year, and this James is wanting to get the 25 years consecutive thing. I wouldn't mind having that. I think I'm getting close to 10 consecutive years. But because I think that I skipped 7. It was 17 or 19. I can't remember which one it was. Because I skipped 16 or 17. One of those two. I know I went to El Paso. We went to Baton Rouge, both Renos, El Paso. I missed one of the Vegas or Reno in between El Paso and Syracuse. And so I think I went Vegas. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, okay, I guess I'm not in the consecutive years there. Maybe I missed 13 or 14. That might have been the thing. Maybe I've gone every year since 2015. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Reno was terrible last year. And we couldn't get the times, and so we went in April, and so this is before they adjusted all the prices down. It was insane. Mixed drinks were 20. They had their special mixed drink thing for the pin slammer or whatever, and it was pre-mixed in one of those frickin' plastic dispenser things. $20 for a mixed drink out of a plastic container with a frickin' spigot on it or whatever.
Was that at the stadium?
Yeah. That's bottles of water, 12 ounce, the little 10.5 ounce bottles of water, the Belmo crinkle bottle things, $4.50.
Can you bring your own container of water? Like a jug?
Probably. But Tall Boys were $15. A Coors Light Tall Boy was $15.
Why?
I don't know, and that's the thing is that everybody and they adjusted the prices, and then people that went in May is like, oh, I don't know what everybody was complaining about. It's like, man, you weren't there a month ago, and then if you're staying on the row, it's Circus, Silver Legacy, El Dorado, whatever. The only place to eat basically was the Brew Brothers, the brewery that was right there between El Dorado and Silver Legacy. It's really good, and the prices were fair. Everywhere else, though, the Coronado Cafe that's right there, it was like $18.95 for a burger and some fries. They don't have the buffet anymore, and so you couldn't. I mean, I'd pay $20 to eat, $25 to eat all I could eat, but they didn't have the buffet there anymore. And so if you wanted breakfast, it was $8 for a Subway or for a Starbucks sandwich or whatever. Or they had a breakfast restaurant in there, but the cheapest thing on there was like eggs and bacon for $15.
Holy
so
crap.
The prices were insane. Everything sucked. They did kind of clean up that area between the row and the stadium, so they didn't have that shitty. Yeah, they did. They took out. Oh, not Harrah's. So if you were at Silver Legacy and you want to go across the street to Harrah's is something completely different now.
Is it a casino or a hotel?
I think it's still a hotel and casino.
Yeah.
But they used to have a little strip of convenience stores and a smoke shop and whatever else. And there was a bunch of homeless people that were between Silver Legacy and the stadium. They actually took out a whole row of buildings. There's still a bunch of homeless people there, but they made it nicer in between Silver Legacy and the stadium. And the stadium was fine. And that was kind of weird that the best part of the trip was the bowling. Usually when you're at a USBC event and people mean mug you every time you take your phone out and it's just miserable, stupid rules, dumb crap. The actual bowling of the tournament was the best part of the trip. Everything else was awful. Absolutely awful. And so that's the thing. The experience overall was miserable.
Yes, I know Harrah's is gone. It was Harrah's that was next door. Well, you know about my last Reno experience. Didn't I tell you about that one?
Was that the one where Randall got robbed?
Yeah, he hit Roy. So, true story. It was like Anthony Judd, myself, Johnny Clark, Randall, my brother-in-law.
Was that the Matt Mace year where he didn't show up with the?
No, Matt Mace did not go with us.
That was a different year.
Matt Mace did not go with us, but then we started drinking from the moment we got on the plane. Johnny, myself, all of us started with vodka Red Bulls. And we literally drank vodka Red Bulls from like 9 o'clock in the morning until about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Ugh.
And it was literally the same drink over and over again. And our hearts are going like this. But I'm not kidding. I tell you, Randall hit a royal flush at Harrah's because we were staying at the Harrah's at the time because Amanda's grandparents we got free rooms. So it was nice.
Yeah.
He hit a royal flush on the video poker machine. That was cool, whatever. We went across the street like Diagonal. I don't remember what that casino is called, if it's even still there. He went over there and hit another royal flush on the video poker machine.
Uh-huh.
We all went back as a group over to and played poker at Harrah's, and we were so big, it was our group.
Yeah.
I finally looked at him, and we got in trouble because we were cussing and whatever, and they wouldn't let you, if you're cursing at the poker table, they get mad at you. But we were wanting drinks because we can only get drinks once every 45 minutes or whatever.
Oh,
I finally went to bed, and that's when Randall comes back and tells me he got robbed, walking because he tried to go back across the street by himself from Harrah's to the one cat corner, and that's when he told me he got robbed.
Yeah.
So I think back then they would have people that would actually sit out and spot, and they're homeless people. I guarantee it, they're homeless people.
Yeah.
They would sit out and spot you. But he said that they did the whole under your shirt thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Reno, it's not my favorite place. I'll go back though because I told Trevor that he's like, I'm gonna need you to go to Reno and everything once you commit. I'm like, I'll go. It's fine. Just know I freaking hate Reno.
And that's probably what'll happen. We will probably go back to Reno. We'll hate it the entire time and won't like that we have to do it, but it is one of those things. It'd be nice to have one of the longevity awards. And
oh yeah.
But you're just gonna have to suffer. Just gonna have to suffer through Reno every third year or whatever. And I think that they kind of learned their lesson throughout this one. And the really cool thing is that once you get away from the row and the bowling stadium, like there was a Black Bear Diner that we went, that my parents and I went. Angel couldn't go this year or last year, I guess.
Yeah.
But there was a Black Bear Diner that was there, and we drove, and so Dad had the truck, and so we just headed south. And you get just a couple blocks south, and Reno turns into an entirely different city. Like it was nice and it was revitalized and it was amazing once you got away from the stadium and the row. It was kind of like, wow, I'd never been down there before because we just stay at the row. It had everything that we needed, and we walked back and forth between the casino and the stadium, and everything was fine. And whatever else. The other thing was that the lockers, I didn't use any lockers this year because they were ridiculously expensive too.
Where do you stay out there? You said
we stay at Silver Legacy.
Oh, okay.
And that might be changing because James stayed at an Airbnb and he liked that really well. And Silver Legacy was still nice. It was still nice and it was still really convenient. You just walk downstairs and walk across the street and you're there and you don't have to worry about nothing. But I had to I took our pull cart, and even in April, it was still kind of warm. And so I was sweating my ass off getting that freaking cart down the escalator and all the way out Silver Legacy and a block over, and then in and up the elevator and around to and all the way down that freaking hot ass hallway. That's one of the worst parts of the bowling stadium is that nasty hot ass hallway that you have to walk down to get into this. So I'm already warm, and then you get into that sweltering hallway that goes all the way down to the room to get stuff weighed in or checked in. And that was the other thing, is that we got done bowling a team practice session, and I'm like, okay, well, I already got all my stuff here. I thought, okay, well, the squad room's already open. I'll just take my stuff up, get it checked in, put it, leave it on our lane, and then I'll go back and I'll get dressed and I'll get cleaned up and whatever else. And I got up there and I said, well, I just want to check this stuff up and drop it off. I just got done bowling. I want to go get cleaned up. And it's like, well, you can't be in here unless you're properly dressed. And I'm like, because I had shorts on. I had shorts and a jersey on because we were bowling a team practice session. That didn't matter. And I'm like, well, no, I'm just trying to. I said, yes, I will go get dressed, but we just got done bowling. I want to go take a shower and get cleaned up and get dressed and whatever else. And I thought my bowling stuff was already here. I just want to check it in and put it on my lane so I can go get cleaned up. It's like, well, you can't even be in here unless you're properly dressed.
Get the hell out of here! No way.
Like, are you serious? I'm sweating my ass off. You're telling me I'm going to have to take all this stuff or get a $15 gold locker or whatever the crap that stuff was? I'm like, I'm not doing that.
No.
And just happened to be Waswo was already there, and Kim and Gabby were sitting there watching, and so I just left the cart with them.
Yeah.
but it's still, I walk all the way back over there and I get cleaned up and come all the way back and I'm sweating my ass off already because it freaking slacks and that stupid crap. I have to go down that long ass hallway and then every single ball up and down and up and down and up and down and checking everything. Last year you didn't have to put all this stuff up there. It was basically you just drug your balls up. The last time we were in Vegas, you drug your balls up there and then somebody would come over and it's like, well, just flip it around. Let me see the grips. Let me see the serial number and we're done. So we didn't have to take anything out. But in Reno, it was still the same crap. You got to take everything out of the bag and put it up on the roller. And then they got to look at it. And then you got to put everything back. And
it's the most frustrating thing ever.
Oh my God. So that was
what's funny though, is they're telling you have to be dressed and all that stuff. But when we go to Baton Rouge next year and we bowl in the convention center, which is where it'll be, because they don't have a pre-built like South Point or Reno, so it's going to be in the convention center where it was last time. I guarantee it. You can walk right in there with shorts, t-shirt. That's the dumbest crap ever. Yeah, you'll be able to walk right in there because they're not going to stop spectators from coming in because you walk in the doors. If you remember right, they had the stands. Yeah. And then behind the stands, they had all the manufacturers' booths and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I know they haven't announced where it's going to be, but it's going to be that convention center again. We already know.
Yeah, Baton Rouge, it's going to be the same place. The convention center down on the river.
That was a good-sized convention center, too.
Which is cool.
Because, if you remember, they have that ship outside. Did you see the ship?
Yeah, we did. I think we actually went and walked through that.
Did you really? That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't get to.
It was cool. It'd definitely be worth doing because I think that's one of the few things that we did down there. We weren't down there for very long, and then we planned on we ended up spending a couple days in Branson on the way back, and so that's kind of the plan. It's like, okay, get down there. We're just going to bowl, and then we're going to go spend a few days in Branson for the actual vacation because we weren't sure about Baton Rouge, and it ended up being kind of dirty and whatever.
Vegas national supremacy, not
yeah.
biased. Of course.
David John said, Grand Sierra is much nicer, about 10 minutes away. Having bracket payout at casino was suspect.
That's been there every year.
Hey, at least it's not the sands anymore. That was the worst thing about bowling the late squad and then trying to walk over to the sands at 2 a.m. No, thank you.
The last time I bowled in Reno, they had it's been a while. I've been out of nationals for a while. But we had to do the 40 framer was like in a sketchy bowling center, like way away from the center.
Yep. Yeah, they didn't have it this year, but it got bought by USBC, and so they're bringing it back. I don't know where it's going to be at going forward, but it is gonna happen again. But really? the bracket payout was at Silver Legacy this year instead of having to walk, or last year instead of having to walk all the way down to the sands.
That's better than the sands. Yeah, the sands is awful.
Yeah, that was rough. Stay outside of Reno. Yeah.
Don't have to do that in the women's tournament. Well, unfortunately, we don't get to bowl the women's tournament, so we're stuck with what we got. I'm excited to come back, man. I can't wait. I've been really wanting to bowl, and then I love Trevor, but he's so bad about planning stuff, and when he plans, it's last minute, and I can't do it. So finally, it's going to start going forward. It's going to start taking part of my vacation time, and we're going to make sure we go. So.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to it. Are you going to drive? You guys drive every year, don't you?
Yeah, we're going to drive, and I think James is actually going to drive this year too because Vegas is an okay drive. Reno is a miserable, wretched, hate it every time drive. Vegas is a couple hours shorter, but the scenery and everything is so much nicer. It's so much nicer of a trip. I actually enjoy that trip once we get out of Kansas. But Vegas National Supremacy. South Point is freaking amazing. We can just go there and stay there the whole time, basically. We're going to get out and do a few things, but they've also got that Grand Prix or F1 race or whatever the crap it is coming in soon. And so I think things are a little cluttered down there. But South Point's got everything we need.
They already ran that race. I don't know if they're doing it again anytime soon.
Oh, they already did the Vegas race?
They just did it here not long ago.
Oh.
I don't know if they're running it this year, but they did it here not long ago. They might be doing it again. But
I thought that the one that they just did was like a practice run or something.
No, the one they did in Vegas was the real thing.
Oh, okay.
It was a cluster, from what I understand. Jesse Bauer went down there and watched it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Jesse and his dad went down there. Okay.
Yeah.
So
the
they
same
did
winner
already
as
do it.
that wins everything. Max Verstappen that wins everything did it.
I gotcha. Because, yeah, I remember that was a few months ago.
Yeah. I know. I told him I was jealous.
There. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, they did redo the sands.
Sweet.
And it actually looked pretty. Yes, I am sure of that. But trying to frickin' walk down there, especially later at night, is several blocks away from the stadium, and having to walk all the way over there to get your bracket money, annoying.
Yeah, it was awful. So they're doing the Formula One race back again in November. So
Yeah.
yeah, so this season it's a new season now, so that makes sense. Ow! Keep hitting my knee on something.
Yeah, Vegas is one that's okay to drive. Yeah, sure, it adds a day of driving, but it's such a nice drive.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I really enjoy that drive. I'm not one that really likes driving anywhere, but I do really enjoy that drive. The Reno drive is wretched. I do it once just for the experience, because the first time you go, it is kind of crazy. After that, it's miserable. So, nope.
It is nice to have your own vehicle in Vegas when you're traveling to Vegas. I will say that.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the people that live there, Andrew,
Mm-hmm.
you already have your own vehicle there, but traveling there and having your own vehicle is nice.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Vegas in a while. I miss it. That is actually one trip I'm ready to go back for. So my daughter definitely won't make that trip.
Yeah. But yeah, having everything at South Point, and most of the time they have the kids dirt bike racing stuff there at the same time we go in July, and so we get to go watch that in the other arena. So if you're going to the arena for South Point, and you get up the stairs, escalator, whatever else, and turn left to go bowling, keep going straight. There's the other big arena, and they set up we've been there a couple times where they've had the kids doing not motorized, it's bicycle, but it's dirt track. Very, very interesting, very fun.
It's BMX. BMX, is that the word you're looking for?
Yeah, BMX. That's it.
Yeah. How long of a drive is that? 22 hours to Vegas?
It's 21-ish to Reno. It's about 17 and a half, 18 to Vegas.
Oh, that's not bad.
Because it's kind of funny that Vegas and Reno are significantly, they're a couple hundred miles away from each other. You say Vegas and Reno, well, they're both in Nevada. They're both in Nevada. Can't be that far away. It's like a 5-hour drive from Vegas to Reno.
Yeah, one's top, one's bottom, right? Like one's up here.
And so Reno, we have to drive to Denver, and then we go north, and we go up into Wyoming and whatever else, in Salt Lake City, and then have to drive through the Salt Flats, and then all the way through frickin' Nevada, where they say don't pick up hitchhikers, but nobody that's in prison in Nevada actually wants to escape, because that'd be worse than being in prison. Yeah, Vegas to Reno is an 8-hour drive. Yeah. So, yeah, Colorado. Yeah, ran into a mudslide in I-79. So, yes. So what happened is we also went the year of the mudslide, but I think the mudslide happened after we went through it. But they did close, or actually we had to, no, you did the same thing. We were forced to take that frickin' goat path in the mountains.
I remember you telling me this.
Oh my God. It was the narrowest road ever. And you could look down the side, like 2 feet away from the edge of the car tires is just straight mountain down. Yeah, we had to get out. There was a mudslide, and they closed the highway, and we could have waited, or everybody was taking this other side road, and we thought, okay, well, it's a couple miles, but it's not going to be that bad. No, it was like 15, 20 miles an hour for a couple hours driving on this frickin' windy goat path up in the mountains. It was terrifying.
I remember you telling me about this. Now that you talk about it, I specifically remember this. Because that was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
But yeah, we just take I-70 all the way out there, basically. We go through Denver, and then we get to go through the mountains, through Vail, and it's great. It's a great ride.
Do us a solid and smash that like button.
Yeah.
Help us out. We're up to 1. Or
Yeah.
1. Hit that like button.
The
There's
detour.
plenty of people watching.
Yeah, and the thing is about that goat path is it's really just one of those roads meant for not a whole lot of traffic. And when you put a bunch of traffic going both directions on it, it was not built or made for that. But
You say that. What's funny is we were in Mexico, one of the stops in Mexico here about 5 days ago. We took this Jeep tour, and they were like Jeep Renegades. We thought they were going to be like open Jeeps, but they weren't. And when you want to talk about the biggest, bumpiest roads ever, you would have thought Topeka was like, it's like, boom. The last day that we drove dune buggies though. That was cool. Open top dune buggies. Those were pretty sweet. And the driver served us. He had beer for us too in a cooler. So I said, well, I guess they drink and drive in Mexico. But I had some of the best Mexican food I've ever had in my life. Obviously, Mexico, right?
Yeah. You would hope so anyway.
On my last day down there, because they do their tortillas are different down there, and it's so amazing, so amazing. Sorry, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a snack as soon as we're done here.
What's
that?
So we still got about 20 minutes.
Yeah, off topic, but do you feel like the cover on the Black Widow 3.0 is similar to NEX Solid from Storm? I actually feel like the 3.0 cover is very close to Spec. Actually, believe it or not, Spec that doesn't slime up.
Huh.
The Black Widow feels like an asymmetric promotion, kind of, but the cover doesn't get slimy.
I'm excited to throw it.
It's strong, but it's very blendy. So it's weird, but once you get used to it, yeah. NEX Solid is a little more diggy, and it's faster. Now the cover on the NV Tour feels like NEX Solid. I could believe that. Or the 3.0 feels like kind of an asymmetric Summit almost too. But the 3.0 is not near that early and chuggy though. So
I would hope not.
But yeah, the 3.0 is outstanding.
So you like my idea of leaving the box surface on it from and not
probably. Yeah, just leave that for Springfield and go for it.
Don't touch it. Just throw it down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Snipe it right at second arrow. It'll be a goat.
I was not sure if you saw while on vacation, but Stan Farmer passed away. I did see that Stan Farmer passed away. I actually saw it today. Stan Farmer passed away, which I believe he was the owner. At one point was. I don't know if Chris was doing it all, but Sterling Bull. So
okay.
Was one of the good guys. So shout out to the Farmer family and thoughts and prayers to them. We also lost another member of the bowling community, local one here in our area. Gary Don passed away. I don't know if
I did see that.
Gary Don is.
I didn't know him, but I saw Horn's post.
I actually dated his daughter when I was younger, much younger.
Okay.
But Gary Don was a good guy. I always got along with him really good. So it's a sad one to lose him too. But he was also bowled a lot at Olathe East. He's an Olathe East guy. But Gary and I always interacted very well around each other. He always gave me a lot of shit every time he seen me. So, But yeah, Gary is another one that we lost here, and it was a kind of a bang thing here in the last week. Got cell signal, and I learned that news pretty quick. So that sucks. Seems like we're losing more and more lately, and hopefully that trend stops sooner than later.
Yeah, there's some of them that are getting to that age, and then of course some of them that aren't that age, like Alan Payne, that get some weird.
Well, I didn't do one here a couple weeks ago on our last show, but I want to do it now too before I forget. Drew Knutsen's mother passed away. Jewel Knutsen.
Mm-hmm.
It's been about a month now, but I know that they've recently had her services and whatnot. Jewel was an amazing part of the youth bowling community in Kansas City, running the Heart of America Junior Classic. I grew up bowling the Heart of America Junior Classic with along as Brad. I know some people that saw his vlog with the bracelet that he had on in honor of Jewel. Drew still runs the Heart of America Junior Classic, and just the things that Jewel has done for the Kansas City bowling community, for the youth. I mean, a lot of the guys, the adults that bowl, still to this day, Jewel was around. I mean, it felt like we were family as much as we seen them. And so shout out to the Knutson family for that loss. And I deeply, deeply touched on that one. That one's very sad. So
Yeah.
Thank you, Jewel. Sorry. Carry on. We had to, it's like I said, it felt like bang, bang, bang there. There was three shots there. It felt like it's just a lot here lately, and it needs to slow down. I didn't even know that Gary Don was sick. We were on our way down to Galveston, and when I found out that Gary was actually not doing well, I didn't know it was like that serious. And then when I got cell service, I finally got it yesterday, but I didn't see all the stuff until really today because I didn't really look at it too much driving and whatnot. I saw that Gary had passed, and I had told Amanda about it. It was one of those things where it just happened so quick. Like, it's crazy. It seems like we're losing so many. Alan Payne, like you said, we just lost Alan Payne, which Alan Payne was fighting a battle, which we bowled and did his thing here. I don't remember how long ago it was, but it's just sad how many in the bowling community we're losing. And I know it's life, but just cherish those that are close.
Yeah.
You make me want to give you a virtual hug.
Yeah.
I'll kiss you on the cheek. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. So we got that brought up, and I saw that in the chat with Jason. So thank you, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're gonna make me tear up. But yeah, sad. There it is. Gary's illness came on quick, and then he got bad pretty quick as well. Yeah, see, it's crazy how fast things happen. You just never know. So, anyways. I'll have to. They had it there. There it is. They made an announcement last week that he was in hospice. Yes, I saw that. That's the announcement I saw, but obviously I didn't have any service. I didn't know anything was going on. And then next thing I know, turned my phone back on, and boom, I saw he had passed, which is crazy. So last time I talked to Gary, I remember him telling me about how he loved the Savannah Bananas. So the baseball comedy thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Telling me how much he loves the Savannah Bananas and how I've got to go see the Savannah Bananas, his favorite baseball team, blah, blah, blah. Braylon actually likes him. You can actually watch their games on YouTube.
Yeah, I see Instagram clips all the time.
If you catch a foul ball, it counts as an out. It's kind of cool
stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on. I will have to report back to you and let you know how Springfield is this weekend.
We can. So, that's the other thing to discuss is that 2 weeks from now, I'll be gone, so we might actually do a show next Monday, and that way we can kind of talk about Springfield. And then we'll be at South, and then we can kind of preview Southwest for the following weekend because we're going to Southwest, not this weekend, of course, but next weekend. And then Angel and I, James too, we're going to Pennsylvania because one of the part of it is our daughter lives in Williamsport, and we haven't been out to see them yet since she's been there for like 4 or 5 years. So her and her family are in Williamsport, which is the home of the Little League World Series. But we also have several friends in the area. One of our Patreon members is in Columbus, Ohio, which we're going to stop at. It's just the nice place to stop at for the night, the first day traveling, and so we're going to stop and see him both directions. And then we've got a couple of other Patreon members that are in Pennsylvania. One of them's getting married here in a couple weekends, and so we thought, okay, well, we can make the trip, finally see our daughter and see where they live at, meet their dogs and all that kind of stuff, and meet our son-in-law's mom, and kind of see the area out there, and then hit a friend's wedding while we're in the area and see some other friends while we're out there too. And so it just happened to be a nice excuse to kind of get out there and kill a bunch of birds with one stone. So we won't be here. We're leaving 2 Mondays from now, which normally would have another show here in 2 weeks, but we're going to be leaving that Monday. So probably do a show next week, and that way we can hit a bunch of things. There's going to be another PBA tournament. You'll have Springfield to talk about. We'll have Southwest to preview. So yeah, we'll probably do a show next week.
There will be no PBA show.
Oh, no PBA?
They're off for 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Then next one they have the Masters. So basically, when we come back, we'll have the Masters.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Which is fine.
So
But we can have a fun show since it's a back-to-back one. So
yeah, we'll have plenty to talk about, and we probably ought to talk a little bit about Nationals prep.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about prep. We didn't really.
I'll hit this for a second. What's the best replacement for the Zen? Sounds weird, but Exponent Pearl. I believe the Exponent Pearl is the best replacement for the Zen that's out there right now. If you're wanting to stay within SPI, but it's weird. The Brunswick stuff is so different from SPI that I don't really feel like you can kind of go back and forth.
Not even a theorem? You think a theorem could be close?
No, because it's cleaner and it's definitely stronger and a whole lot faster.
It's stronger and faster. That's for damn sure.
So I really think the Exponent Pearl is the best Zen replacement that's kind of out there right now. But as far as Nationals, we will have to see. I think that video that I shared, I will probably just go on ahead and upload it again, because again, it worked out really well. Looked really good.
What videos you got coming up? You got some stuff coming up here?
Yes.
You don't have to leak it. Just saying. You have
Yes.
I'm assuming Brunswick's got B7's got some stuff coming out. I don't know, folks. I don't know.
They've been teasing a few things. Hi, Miss.
Yeah,
they've been teasing.
I saw today.
They've been teasing a few things on social media the last few days. So,
do you have them in drilled?
I can neither confirm or deny.
Okay, so.
But they've been teasing a bunch of stuff, so something is coming here soon.
Cool.
But I can neither confirm nor deny. Just look on B7 Facebook pages, and they're teasing a lot of stuff. And this is kind of their thing, where they normally announce stuff in the first week or two of the month, and then release stuff 2 weeks later. And it's kind of a nice pattern. So you can expect for the B7 stuff, you can expect an announcement in the first week or two of the month, and then the balls will release later in the month, and then you get a couple week break, and then they'll announce more stuff and release more stuff, and then you'll get a break. And so they've got kind of a very consistent schedule going on. So
Brunswick's going to keep you busy, sir.
So yeah, I'm definitely being kept busy.
For those that are watching on live, or those that are stick with us and watch it later on, how are you guys liking now the B7 stuff being on the channel? I mean, it's a lot of brands and stuff, but man, Brunswick's making some bangers. It's hard to ignore. I mean, I think everybody's playing catch up at this point.
Yeah, I do think that, and this is the thing, is that we were talking about it too, because Storm has not made a lot of shows on the PBA this year. Oh. Now they are also, however, they've had a couple shows where the single SPI bowler has won because Kyle Troop was the only one on a couple weeks ago and he won. Simo, the tournament or 2 tournaments before, the only bowler on there, and he ran the ladder and won. So I think they're now, with BOOG winning, they're even. B7 has 3 titles and Storm has 3 titles. But the amount of other staffers that have been on the show have dwarfed the Storm staffers, and I really think it is because the Brunswick covers handle oil better. They're a little bit stronger, and stronger covers are naturally going to handle oil better. But the Brunswick stuff is just, the covers are just stronger than the Storm covers. And that's the thing that's been tough for me to get used to, is that now I can actually just throw stuff and I don't have to help anything out. I actually have to it's better if I just kind of fling it or just launch it out there. Uh-oh, there she is with the new glasses.
Oh, is anybody, I guess YouTube hasn't seen her yet with the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't they?
No, not on here.
No. It's been a couple weeks.
She
What
just
you
got
doing?
home gymnastics.
Yeah.
Are you still throwing the Scorpion low flare?
No, that one, it got some lane shine on it. It's not quite, it looks good for James, but with surface on it, it's too strong. And when lane shine gets on it, because of the layout I put on it, it's a little too straight off the end of the pattern. So it's just one of those that it doesn't really fit where it's supposed to fit. Again, as one of those things, it's like, okay, on paper, it's kind of a Venom Shock, kind of a IQ Tour, but it's just a lot stronger and a lot faster than it's supposed to be. And so it just doesn't quite fit. So yeah, B7 replacement for an IQ Tour would be a sensor solid, I think, but the sensor is still like 3-4 boards stronger. I think that the best replacement for an IQ Tour, if you don't drill an IQ, is an exponent. But a B7 replacement would be the sensor solid, but it's almost an arrow stronger.
Okay.
So, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, got to change the surface on the Scorpion low flare. Reads a bit early. Yeah, out of the box, it is super chunky and chewy. It's crazy out of the box. And then when it lane shined for me, it was just a little too clean and too fast. And so it's like, okay, well, it looks great with surface on it, but it's too strong to ever throw. But then as soon as I let it lane shine, it's too long and flippy, which is weird for what that ball is. Our replacement for Idle Cosmos, I was thinking of Big Time SE. That's pretty close. Something else that's really close is the Ultimate Defender. It doesn't make sense really on paper because the Cosmos is symmetric and the Ultimate is asymmetric. But on the lane, they're pretty close. I really like the Ultimate Defender has been my favorite one so far and the one that I've been able to throw the most.
I really like the Big Time. I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Top speed. I wish you could have got your hands on a top speed. Top speed is pretty good. I need to throw it more because I really like it.
Yeah, we're going to have to see about the motive stuff. Again, the Brunswick stuff, I didn't solicit. I didn't talk to anybody. They reached out to me. I'm kind of in the position right now where I'm like, I'm not going to go begging for stuff. I don't need any more equipment. I'm staring at racks upon racks upon racks of stuff that I'm already not going to get to drill and throw now. But I'm really not thinking that Motive's going to, I might figure out a way to kind of work my way into stuff because I really want an Evoke and I really want the Hypervenom. I do have a Venom Shock and an OG Covert Revolt that I'm getting ready to drill. I'll probably go film for those on Friday.
Are you really going to drill it?
Yeah, I'm going to drill it. Absolutely. Yeah, it just may not happen. I don't know. That had been on the.
If we can get your mom to come over.
Yeah, but I just forgot about Ding Ding.
I can't believe you're going to drill the Cover Revolt.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing. The only reason I have it is because Riley couldn't drill it. He's like, I can't drill it, but he's like, I know you'll like it. And we gave him a couple balls for it. And yeah, I'm just going to do it. I mean, I drilled that Phase Tour that I could have sold for $500. I drilled the X Factor Reloaded, and it's actually really good. So I'm kind of happy I drilled that. And yeah, I'm going to drill a freaking Revolt.
What about Taboo?
That's getting holes too. I don't know when, but I'm not just going to let. So the alternative is letting it sit on the shelf until it cracks. And at that point, it's like, well,
yeah,
I might as well just drill it. Even if it sucks, it's going to end up a display ball or a collector ball, and it doesn't make any. I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to get rid of it. So whether it's cracked all the way around or with holes in it or without holes in it, it's all the same to me because it's not going anywhere. So,
I guess at that point, you might as well put holes in it. So that makes sense.
James has a top speed blank.
Ooh.
So
I love the top speed.
Interesting thing here. So I will tell you this too, just like I told James. The 3.0 is a solid top speed. The shapes on the lane are identical. The 3.0 is just earlier and smoother.
I like it.
So yeah, the 3.0 is absolutely a solid top speed.
I think the next ball I'm going to drill, put holes in. I think I have to drill a sensor solid, like we talked about. I think it's got to happen. It just looks so dead.
Those two.
It looks so good.
I want
You
one of
probably-
those, and I want a hazmat.
You probably could get Brunswick to send you one.
Oh, I'm sure I could.
What was the hybrid one you wanted?
From who?
It was a Brunswick. I forget. There was one that you were like, oh man, I wish they would have sent me that in the care package.
Oh, the Troublemaker Pearl is the one that
it wasn't. It wasn't it either.
Oh no, the Emerge.
Yeah,
the Emerge
that
hybrid.
one. Yeah, that's the one I think.
Merge hybrid. Yeah, the first original merge was good. I heard. Trevor
Yeah,
liked
the Emerge hybrid looks completely different from the
that's
original.
the greenish one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
the original. Yeah, the original is kind of like the. The original one is very Violent Collision-esque. It's the kind of tumbly but very early, heavy rolling, kind of no rules Pearl looking thing. The Emerge hybrid is very much like an earlier, slower Theorem that's also a little bit forward.
Okay.
So it's a completely different shape on the lane. But the 3.0 is absolutely a solid top speed.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to throw that now.
So, yeah,
I've been pretty excited to throw it. I don't want to throw it with chalk.
Yeah. It'll be perfect. Just leave it alone. Don't throw it tomorrow. Don't throw it Thursday. Just leave it for.
The last thing I want to do is throw it with chalk at Royal Crest and just burn the fronts up.
Come on, buddy. You waking up, Buck?
We got.
He's down here, but he's still out of it. He's smiling now though. Come here, buddy. Storm dog. I'm sorry, I don't have cheese,
Well,
but
he's tired of running into stuff. He's
Yeah.
watching very closely.
he's still very tired, and he's got the cone on, and he keeps running into stuff.
Oh, I'm sure you.
Aspen, come here, pig. Aspen, Missile. I know Missile will come over here. Come here, Miss. Miss. Come here. Did you go to bath?
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
We're down in the corner. Hi, baby. Nice baby. I know. You're so nice, miss. Aspen piggy. Come here, pig. Hi, Puggles. You're the best pig. I know. You're the best pig.
The best pig.
Chonka pig. You're a chonky pig. Yes, you're a chonky pig. I know. You're a chonky pig.
A pig.
Come here. You coming here, buddy? He's like, no. He is so tired.
At least he's gonna sleep tonight.
I don't know about that. He's
Yeah.
restless.
For something, yeah. We talked about it earlier, but our storm dog, the big white one, he got a gash under his right eye, and so we had to take him to the vet this morning, and he had to get his like 4 or 5 stitches, looks like, but they had to shave his face, and the blood kind of stained his face too, and so he looks in a whole lot worse shape than he actually is. And I won't share the picture on here because if you're squeamish, it looks rough. But he's got a cone on. He's still coming down from the sedation. We just picked him up a couple hours ago. And he's tired. he's so tired.
So he did lay down, but it was only for like 10 minutes at most. He can't get comfortable with the cone on, so tonight is going to be miserable.
He's just and the stitches don't come out for 10 days, so it's next Friday before the stitches are gonna come out. And he's tired. He's gonna hate the cone. I might end up working from home for the next week and a half, so it might actually work out a little bit for me. But yeah, he's sorry, Bucko.
Crate is going to be miserable.
Yeah.
Poor boy.
Anyway, so a quick minute and a half Nationals rundown here. It doesn't matter what side of the lane that you're on, you're going to want a urethane option, possibly 2 of them. If you are an all brands person, black hammer, purple hammer, absolutely have those. Nothing else is really necessary. If you do want to have some extra options, again, the IQ78, and again, from what we saw, there was the one guy, the Bold with Amleto, that was putting it down the side. The IQ78 is ridiculously good if you can point it off the corner. Insanely good. It's a one-trick pony, but that one trick is so good that if you can point it off the corner, whichever side you're on, definitely worth having. The new blue is kind of in between. If you don't like urethane and urethane doesn't typically work for you, the new blue is the perfect balance between. It's even further away from urethane than the purple hammer is. it lane shined in league, it looks amazing. And if you've got some surface on it, it is longer and sharper than traditional urethane. So it's the new blue is just right on that line where it's, if you want urethane, it's not the ball, but it's, if you want tamer reactive, it is the ball, but it just kind of rides that line. So it's, if you hate urethane, it's perfect. And if you like urethane but need a little bit more shape, it's also perfect. So I would take, the only one that I would forget about is the pitch black, really, because if you have the other 4, you don't need the pitch black. But the other 4 all have their own specific different feels to them. So you could absolutely have an IQ 78U, black hammer, purple hammer, new blue. The pitch black would be overlap, but those 4 definitely you could have all together.
Well, the IQ2 are solid. You could substitute for the U if you were taking one of the other ones.
Yeah, probably.
That's what I take.
Do you think I take two urethane balls to nationals?
Yeah, I think that I think that no matter which side of the lane you're on or how you throw the ball, I would take 2 urethane balls to nationals. And again, if you were only taking 2, it would be the purple and the black. I could live without the new blue. I definitely live without the new blue. Could live without the 78U. So if I had to just pick 2, it would be the purple and the black.
So you think I should put holes at some point in the black one?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. That one would definitely be. It plays the same part of the lane. It's also another one that you've got to kind of keep in front of you. It, again, doesn't roll as heavy as the 78 does. The black's a little bit cleaner and has a little bit more motion on the back end. The IQ 78 is earlier, but it's also a little smoother.
I wonder if I should drill one before Southwest. Or it's not Southwest, but before Swiss.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea, especially at North Rock. Urethane plays at North Rock, period.
I throw it a lot over there.
The black hammer, you can just square up and just point right off the corner. It's got a nice. It just climbs. It just rolls. It's not heavy rolling, but it just roll, and so it just kind of that continuous climbing motion that kind of keeps going. So this is a good question here. Going to nationals for the first time when you make any changes to the 6-ball arsenal. Eternity Pie, that's a good one to have at the top. Phase 2 Vivo IQ Ruby Pitch Black mix. That's about, if you're taking 6 balls, that's about as solid as you can get, because the Pie is going to be a great solid ball to have at the top because it's strong, but it's also really controllable. Phase 2 again is basically a symmetric version of the Pie. The Vivo is nice to have because, again, you saw Kyle Troop win a couple weeks ago with it. Him and Belmo were both throwing on the same show. But again, it's one of those that's in between. It's strong enough to be able to handle some volume, and it's got some pop, but it's that rounder shape that's really easy to manipulate. You can make it a lot smoother, or you can make it turn sideways if you wanted to. It's one of the most underrated balls on the market right now. And then the Ruby is pretty versatile because it's an IQ. If you put surface on it, it will act enough like an IQ Tour to not need the IQ. But if you shine it up, it could be a cleaner step down from the Vivo because they both have that rounder shape. They both shape identically. And then the pitch black, if you need urethane, and then the mix. So yeah, that's an amazing arsenal right there.
That's pretty good. I like it.
If I was, again, putting together a motive arsenal, you probably need a Jackal. What's the Jackal Ghost? Are they still making that?
Yep.
The Ghost, or whatever, the Jackal Carnage, perhaps, would be a good one. They just put out the Jackal Fury too. The Evoke, absolutely have to take an Evoke. That ball is very smooth. Very smooth. A lot of people, it just pukes as whatever else. That makes it ridiculous on tougher stuff.
I'd take a Flare.
Yeah, Flare, if you still have one of those, I would take one of those.
Yep.
Vegas 3.0, yeah, B7 Arsenal if you don't take a 3.0, and that I would probably have to put a 3.0 in my own arsenal. even though I don't think I'd use it, but just on the off chance I need something a little bit, something reactive that's a little bit faster than the Pure Madness or the Summit. So I might just leave my old Summit at home. One Summit Pure Madness 3.0. Theorem for, if you need to ball down into something, especially for the righties, Hustle Camo 78D, NV Tour, plastic. And that's one of those things where I think an Absolute Power could fit in there, but it would probably take the place of the Theorem, and I would rather have the Theorem on the right side. If I was lefty, it would be an Absolute Power because the Theorem is just a little too fast, even with surface on it. But the Theorem would be the cleaner drop down because James had a really good last game in team last year with the Absolute. And so having something cleaner to ball down into once you get the transition right. Oh, Raptor Fury. Okay.
Yeah, Raptor.
It's the Raptor Fury, not Jackal Fury. Okay, Raptor Fury. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it has the bird on it.
Yeah.
Got the birdie.
Yeah, might bring, for 6, that's fine. If you bring 8, I would absolutely put the Absolute Power in there too. And then there's a big gap between the Theorem and the Hustle Camo, so I would put a Sensor Solid in there. But yeah, or actually, I mean, the Absolute Power is kind of in Sensor. It doesn't make any sense, but it does when you actually see them on the lane. Because again, the Storm covers are cleaner than the Brunswick covers. And then there's other stuff I can't talk about yet.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should be
NDA.
Anyhow.
That's sign off time.
Sounds like we'll be back next week.
Mm-hmm.
I took the power would be in consideration. Theorem is better than the power for late block and bigger launch angles for me. Okay.
Yeah. And then the Sensor Solid would be one of the perfect ones to put in there. A GB4 hybrid would be up around. A GB4 hybrid would be between the NV Tour and the Theorem. I think even the Theorem is just long, it's just clean and sharp enough. Yeah. I think the GB4 hybrid is strong, has a stronger cover than the Theorem. It's symmetric instead of asim, but the Theorem is just cleaner and sharper. So I think the GB4 hybrid would actually fit, or it might be kind of sideways from a Theorem. And then do the Vibo and Sublime overlap? They do kind of overlap because they're both clean and the shapes are different. The Sublime is more archy and the Vibo is more round, but they do kind of copy each other most of the way down the lane. I'm looking to add another ball to round out my arsenal, which is a Phase 2 and a Hustle M&M. You have the Vibo or the Sublime. GB4 hybrid would be a Sim Theorem. Basically, I actually threw one last week, and it wasn't that early at all. It is fairly clean. I guess I would think it at the same surface, then yeah, they would be pretty close. I guess I'm just thinking of the GB4 hybrid as some kind of a sanded, having a little surface on it. But yeah, the Vibo and the Sublime do kind of overlap a little bit. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but yeah.
Thank you.
So anyhow, we are overtime here, and I need a snack before we go to bed.
Attempt to go to bed.
Well, yeah, James, are you just looking at the GB4 hybrid because BOOG made it look absolutely amazing? Well, he's thrown it. Tim Foy threw it too and made it look good. Marshall Kent was throwing it, and the shots that he didn't miss the head pin left on looked pretty good. So
Tim Foy was throwing a stealth too.
Oh yeah, he was throwing a stealth. I guess that's right.
Yeah. He was throwing a stealth.
But
which is weird because that nobody ever threw the stealth.
Oh, Marshall won with it earlier this season too. Yeah, that's right. So
yeah, he did.
Hybrid seen a lot of TV time.
It has. The Theorem and the GB4, yeah. The Theorem has seen a ton of TV time.
Mm-hmm.
What's cool. Which is, the Theorem also got released at one of those weird times where it got kind of disguised. Because didn't it get released with another ball that would be... I thought it got
released in November, December. So it's only been out a couple months, but I think
I thought it got sandwiched with another ball though that's going to be automatically popular. Oh, it's going to piss me off.
Yeah.
That was something else that, yeah, they see the theorem, but there's another one that came out at the same time where it's like, oh God, we got to have that. It was a big name ball. God, it's going to piss me off. It might have been I don't remember. I could be wrong. Could be totally off base. But I thought it.
Violent collision.
Brunswick had the perfect mindset and the ethos around that time.
What are those?
Violent collision was out, but that was the DV8 ball.
Yeah, as I say.
What about a hammer?
Okay, Angel's got the violent collision, the zigzag, and the theorem all got approved on the same date. Before that, okay, storm stuff, Raptor Fury, Summit, Hustles, swag crap. Big Time, Piranha Power Core, Mission 4.5, that was overseas. Perfect Mindset, Ethos, Defender Pearl, Defender, those are overseas. The Hitter, Deadly Rattler, the Verge Hybrid, Storm stuff. The one Encore was a couple months ago. High Speed, we're going too far back then.
Maybe it was the one Encore.
Yeah, that was a couple months earlier than the Theorem, though.
It can't be that. Maybe for some reason I
yeah.
off.
Violent Collision, Zigzag, and Theorem got all approved on the same day.
Yeah, I'm just smoking crack because I thought it was. For some reason, I thought it was
Crimson
like.
Jackal.
I thought it was like, what's the ball I'm looking for that got banned? The Storm one. Oh, the Spectre. For some reason, I thought I got Spectre hidden. But maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah, and then a couple months later, Troublemaker Pearl, Breakaway, Emerge Hybrid.
It wasn't that then. Okay.
All right.
My bad.
Okay.
All right, peeps.
All right. Yep, I got to go get a snack, and then we got to get to bed, and we got a last question here. Pure Madness, amazing. Widow 3.0, amazing. NV Tour, yep. Emerge Hybrid, yep. Archetype, original Archetype, yep. Power Core, the Piranha, GB4 Hybrid. You might want it. You're probably going to want something a little. I know the Piranha is kind of the ball under the GB4. Actually, you might want something again in sensor solid territory, but because that's a lot of. But it's at the same time, there's different schools of thought. I like having the same hook potential, but a bunch of different shapes. And that's kind of what this is. It's a lot of strong stuff, but you have several different looks within the strong stuff. And other people I want a strong ball, I want a medium strong ball, I want a medium ball, I want a medium weak ball, I want a weak ball, whatever else. And so they don't care what the shape is. They just want several different hook potentials. I lean more, of course, I'm a lefty, so it's the shot's just going to be fresh the whole time. So I'm going to want stronger stuff at several different shapes. But yeah, I would kind of like this. Every single one of those balls should be there. Pure Madness, perfect ball. Widow 3.0 is going to be amazing. NV Tour would be amazing. Emerge Hybrid with some surface would be great. The original Archetype would be great. The Power Core, every single one of those balls would be a great ball to have there. There's a lot of hook potential overlap, but there's very different shapes. The Pure Madness is really slow. The Widow is very, very balanced. The NV Tour it's actually a little bit longer and sharper than the Pure Madness. The Emerge Hybrid is even a little bit longer and sharper than that. The Archetype Hybrid is a bunch like a Pure Madness that shapes a little bit more. The Piranha is kind of like an NV Tour, but a step down from it. And then the GB4 will probably give you the most length and the most shape, assuming that, again, with the Emerge Hybrid with surface. But yeah, so all right. We're going to go ahead and call it a day here. Thanks for everybody watching. Thanks for everybody hanging out.
I'm back in America.
Yeah. We will probably be here next week because the following week won't work. So we will probably make this a 1 week turnaround. So thanks everybody for hanging out. It was a bunch of fun. We will see you in a week to talk about some other stuff.
In a week. Bye.